The world doesn't break you all at once. No, it's far more patient than that. It shows you a little hope, just enough to believe again, then pulls the floor out right when you do. People don't really change, my lovely anomalies, They just stop hiding once you stop being useful. Let's talk about what happens after. That's how it always works. You stand there wondering why the ones you'd have burned the world for lit the match under your own feet. But people don't change. They reveal themselves the moment your usefulness runs dry. You gave everything. What came back was silence, a cold shoulder you never earned. And you treated your own loyalty like a weakness instead of the weapon it actually was. But tables always turn. This world forgets fast, but it regrets faster. They won't remember your love. They'll remember your silence, your disappearance, the calm before a storm they never saw coming. When it turns, it won't be your hands shaking. It'll be theirs, realizing they traded someone who'd have walked through hell for them, for someone who couldn't spell loyalty. Your job isn't to wait, to beg, to scream into the void. Your job is to build in silence, become the one they can't touch, but can't forget. Real monsters don't roar. They wait. When it's time, they don't show teeth. They leave marks in history. So let them call you soft, weak, too much. Soon your silence becomes their echo chamber. Every time they close their eyes, they'll see the version of you they threw away, not the broken one. The one who rebuilt from the exact ashes they left behind. You won't need to speak. Your absence will be the loudest thing they've ever heard. Not rage, reinvention. Learn what solitude tastes like. Bitter first, then power. Build brick by painful brick, and when you rise, they'll call you cold, say you changed, but never admit they watched you struggle and did nothing. Let your success be the only answer you give them. You wanted them to understand your pain. Forget it. People don't understand pain until it's their turn to bleed. You got eyes that stared through you, words that turned your loyalty into guilt. The kindest people get punished first. You carried weight that wasn't yours and got thrown in the same pile as the fakes. That's the curse of a real heart, mistaken for weakness, trampled by the same feet you'd have knelt to help. But here's the twist they never see coming. The ones they buried don't die. They evolve. Every sleepless night, every swallowed word was training. The pain didn't come to ruin you. It came to refine you. Once it's done, you won't need revenge. You'll become it. You'll walk into a room and their smile will fade, not because you said anything, but because your silence now says, I'm not the one you left, I'm the one who learned. That version of you is the one they'll chase in other people and never find. Because being real in a room full of masks was your only crime. They knew exactly what they were doing. They felt you pulling away and let you go anyway. That's not love, that's convenience. Stop waiting for closure from people who benefited from your confusion. You owe them nothing, not an explanation, not a piece of the piece you rebuilt from scratch. You can't fix people who only see your worth after they've damaged it. No more apologies for outgrowing your past. No more chasing, no more begging to be seen. Walk with your head high. They misread you. Let them replay it. You gave warmth. They answered with frost. So be the storm now. Not for them, for you. If you don't rise, you'll spend your life shrinking to fit spaces you've already outgrown. The same people who hurt you will be the first to act confused when you finally go cold. Fake concern. What happened to you? As if their own silence wasn't what froze you in the first place. You were drained quietly, and when nobody noticed, you became your own rescue team. Nobody's coming to fix you. Accepting that is what makes you stronger. Pain taught you people love you right up until you're inconvenient, then vanish. Don't fold for them again. They had your loyalty and squeezed until it bled. You were gold. They were blind. Let them live with that. What you gave was rare, heart first, unfiltered, no games. They couldn't handle it, not because you were too much, but because they were too shallow to carry something real. They'll chase easier people, but deep down they know that kind of care doesn't come around twice. One day, when the silence gets louder than your presence ever was, they'll wish they'd held on. But that regret isn't remorse, it's ego, mourning the version of themselves that existed while you were pouring into them. Don't open that door again. The moment you show warmth, they'll remember exactly how to take advantage of it. People don't change, they adjust tactics. Keep your distance, out of wisdom, not hate. You didn't become guarded because you wanted to. The warmth in you kept getting used to keep everyone else comfortable. This version of you, the one that doesn't reply right away, doesn't explain itself, walks away without a scene. That's not bitterness. That's survival. You learned your kindness was currency in a world full of takers. The only person you ever needed to convince was the one in the mirror, and that person already watched you crawl through everything. You don't owe anyone your softness, especially not the ones loud during your wins and silent during your losses. Let them twist the story. Soon they'll see what you built in the dark and act like they believed in you all along. Don't fall for it. Remember who actually lifted you out of the wreckage. You did, alone. That's not taught, that's earned. You're not coming for revenge. You're coming for everything they said you'd never become. When the tables turn, and they always do, it's realization. Watching their expressions shift as the person they doubted turns out untouchable. They'll come back too. It's like losing a piece of themselves they didn't know was holding them together. That's what stings most. You gave with both hands open, and they treated it like nothing. They assumed you'd always answer, always forgive. They never noticed you quietly pulling back, until one day you were gone. Now they sit in rooms that used to be warm and just feel cold. Not your weight to carry anymore. You lived through it and came back sharper. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally started valuing yourself. They expected you to fall apart. Instead you went quiet, got better, and became a memory they can't reach, can't touch, can't replace. You were their light. They chased distractions while holding something rare, and now they live with what's left. When their silence starts screaming inside their own heads, don't answer. You already gave more chances than were earned, so give them exactly what they gave you. Nothing. No closure. Just quiet. Because sometimes, silence is full of everything they refused to hear while you were still speaking. There's a moment even the most patient heart goes quiet, not because it stopped caring, but because caring alone was wearing it down. You stayed loyal until loyalty felt like a burden, asking for nothing back but honesty. They couldn't even offer that, because your depth made their shallow effort look thin. When they couldn't rise to meet you, they tried to pull you down instead. Now that you've walked away, they feel the absence, and still won't admit they built it themselves. Notice how the ones who hurt you always rewrite the story after you leave. To everyone else, you changed. Maybe you did, but not the way they tell it. Every time you forgave, they read it as permission. So you evolved. You let the pain shape you instead of shatter you, and now you see straight through the performance. You stopped pouring into things that were never going to grow, exactly why they can't reach you anymore. They might come back with quiet gestures, mutual friends asking questions. You might feel that pull. Don't answer it. Missing you and valuing you were never the same thing. Missing someone is easy. Actually changing for them is hard, and most people aren't willing to do the hard part. Look at you now, still standing after all of it. Not just surviving, becoming. Becoming everything they said you'd never be. Proof that walking away wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. Remember this the next time doubt creeps in. They didn't break you, they refined you. Cold to chaos now, warm to peace. Because things didn't just shift, they flipped. What actually unsettles people is your quiet steadiness. They got comfortable assuming you'd always be there, arms open. But when you stop being upset and simply move forward instead, no drama, no scenes, that's where the real change lives. The version that over-explained is gone. Now your absence carries more weight than your old words ever did, because they didn't just lose your time. They lost your energy, and that was always the real gift. Let them go looking for it elsewhere. Let them settle for less while you keep building. You were never the lesson that needed fixing. You were the lesson, and they're struggling because you were never just part of their story. You were the turning point. It's strange how people forget what they did until the consequences show up. They forget the dismissiveness until you heal without them and suddenly act surprised the damage was real. But you remember, not out of bitterness, out of clarity. That experience shaped you into someone they'll never fully understand again. So let them watch from a distance. You don't owe anyone a reply, an explanation, or your quiet. Your peace speaks for itself now, and your absence has become the mirror they're forced to face, one that shows the person who built something without them, out of the exact difficulty they caused. They had you, they lost you, and now you move like nothing can shake you, because very little can. Funny how loud a person's silence gets once they finally stop performing for you. They'll call it cold. It was never cold. It was arithmetic. You simply stopped paying interest on a debt that was never yours. Catch you on your next bad day, Joker.